Hi all, welcome back to my channel. In this video I am going to discuss about alter table statement. In our previous videos we have discussed about how to create tables and how to set the constraints. Sometimes you may need to change the table structure after creating a table. Then you can use the alter table statement. Alter table statement can be used to change the structure of a table or the definition of table. Let's check the syntax of alter table statement. Alter table statement has the following syntax: alter table, table name, then action. The action can be add a column, set a default value for a column, add a constraint, then rename a constraint, and these are called actions. Then there are a lot of actions. I have listed only 4 actions here. You can see different actions that can be performed using alter table statement in the official documentation of PostgreSQL. And these are the list of actions you can add, you can drop, you can alter column name, then set data type, and there are a lot of actions. We are not going into all of this. We are only discussing these actions: how to add a column, how to drop a column, how to rename a column, or how to change columns data type, then how to set default value for the column, then how to add check constraint to a column, then how to rename a column. And these are the things we are going to discuss in this video. Okay, without any delay, let's do an example. I'm going to create a table called student, and it has 3 columns: name, age, and course. And later we are going to add a new column, email ID, by using alter table statement. And after that we are going to remove a column by using alter table statement. Okay, this is our initial table structure. Create table, student, ID. It's auto incremented, that is I have given a type serial and it is a primary key. Then name is of type varchar and it is not null. Then age, it is type numeric and it is not null. Then you have course and it is also not null. I'm going to execute this query. Okay, table is created. Then let's check what the table structure. Before that I'm going to comment this previous statement. Select star from student. Okay, these are the columns: ID, name, age, and course. ID is a primary key. Okay, now I'm going to add a new column into this existing table. And initially we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. I'm going to add a new column called email ID by using alter table statement. The syntax for adding a new column to an existing table is alter table, table name, then add column, column name, then type. Okay, and this is a syntax. So we are going to write alter table. Our table name is student, then add column, then what is a new column name? That is email ID. It is of type varchar of 30. Okay, then you can execute the query. Now your table is altered. Then let's check what are the columns. Now your table has 5 columns. Before executing the alter table, we have only 4 columns, and we have successfully added one more column, that is called email ID. And this is how you add new column to an existing table using alter table statement. Next, we are going to discuss about how to remove an existing column from a table. The syntax for removing an existing column from a table is alter table name. Then you can use the keyword drop column, then column name. And for adding a column, we use the keyword add column. For dropping a column, we are going to use the keyword drop column. Okay, and this is syntax. Then alter table student drop column. We are going to drop the column we have added, that is email ID. Email ID. Okay, we are going to execute this query. You have successfully dropped that column, that is you have successfully altered the table. Okay, now we are going to execute a select command for viewing the column names. You can see now you have only four columns, that is ID, name, age and course, and the email ID column is altered or dropped. So this is how you remove an existing column from the table. Okay. Sometimes we may need to rename columns. For renaming a column, we can use the syntax alter table name, then use the keyword rename column, then the old column name to, then you have to specify the new column name. Okay, so I'm going to rename our name column to first name. Okay, for that alter table, then the table name is student, then use the keyword rename column, then all the column name is name to the new column name is first name. Okay, here the difference is you have to specify the old column name and the new column name, and the keyword is rename column. Okay, then we are going to execute this query. Your table is altered. Let's check the table. Okay, you can see here ID. Before altering this table, the column name was name. Now it is f name, that is first name, then age, course. Okay, you can use the alter table statement to alter the default constraint, that is setting a default value and dropping a default constraint from a column. And default constraint is nothing, it is actually a default value for a column. You can set that using the default constraint. Okay, so the syntax is alter table name, then alter column name, then set default, and you can specify the value here. Don't put the equal to symbol here, just set default, then value. If your value is string, you have to put that in single quotes. Okay, and for dropping a default value, you can use alter table name, alter column name, then drop default. Okay, that's simple. Then let's do an example. We are going to set a default value for our course column. Uh, we are going to set a default value like BCA, BCom, whatever. Okay, for that, write the statement alter table name is student, then alter column name is course, then use the keyword set default the value, that is BCA. Okay, then I'm going to execute this statement. Your table is altered. Now you have set a default constraint for your course column. Now let's try to insert a row into this student table. Insert into student name comma age. I'm not going to insert into the course column because we have already set a default value for that course column. Then values, actually we have changed the name value to f name. Okay, values, then the name is Alex, then age is 35. Okay, let's execute this query. You have inserted one row, and let's check. Select star from student. Then you can see the default value BCA. We haven't inserted that BCA here. Actually, that came from the default constraint. Okay, and that is what we have set using alter table statement. At the initial creation, we haven't set any default value, and you can see this is initial column definition. We haven't set any default value. Now we have altered that table schema using the alter table statement, and we have set a default value, and that default value comes here. Okay, now we are going to check how to drop a default constraint. For dropping a default constraint, you can use the same syntax: alter table, table name, alter column, column name, and instead of set default, we are going to use the drop default. Okay, so our statement is alter table student, alter column course, and instead of this set, we are going to use drop, and delete this value. Okay, then execute the query. Your table is altered. Now I'm going to insert a row into this column. You will get an error because we have already set a not null constraint for the name column, no, the course column. Okay, so I'm going to mention course here, course, then the course name is BCA. Now you successfully inserted a row, and this is the row Alex 35 and BCA, and this is the new value we have inserted. Okay, and that is not the default value, and we have inserted that value from your insert statement. Okay, I hope you understand how to drop and set the default constraint using alter table statement. Next is how to add or remove not null constraint from a column. The syntax is alter table, table name, then alter column, column name, then set not null or drop not null. If you want to set a not null constraint for a column, you can use the set keyword, and if you want to drop not null from an existing column, you have to use the drop keyword. Okay, so we have already set all the columns as not null. I'm going to delete the not null from the course column. Okay, for that you have to write the alter table student, then alter column, column name, that is course, then set Now we have already set the not null constraint, so we are going to drop that constraint not null. Okay, so your table is altered. That is your course column is altered. That is the constraint drop not null is dropped. Let's try to insert a row into this table. Insert into student f name age values Smith. Then age is 35. So we have successfully inserted one row into this table, and you can insert without specifying the course column because we haven't set any not null constraint for that column. If you have set a constraint, you cannot do this because that column doesn't allow null values. Okay, so suppose you want to set the not null constraint again, you can use the same alter table statement. Instead of this drop, you can use set not null. Okay, let's try this. We cannot do this because already you have a null value uh, in your course column. That is the result of this query. Okay, for that you have to drop. You have to delete the existing row. Let's try to delete something. Delete from student. The table rows are deleted. I'm going to alter the table. Your table is altered. Now I'm going to insert a row into this table using the previous statement, that is insert into student f name age. We haven't specified any course values here, so let's execute this. You'll get an error because you have a null constraint in your course column. You cannot insert a null value into that column. Okay, next is how to add a table level constraint using the alter table statement. The syntax is alter table name, then add constraint. You can give a constraint name, then the constraint definition. Okay, once more, alter table name, add constraint, the constraint name. You can give a constraint name. For example, if you are going to set a primary key constraint, you can give a name pk, and if you're going to set a foreign key constraint, you can give a name fk, and that is up to you. You can give any name for a constraint, then the constraint definition. Okay, let's do an example. So I'm going to set a unique key constraint for our table columns. For setting a unique constraint, I'm going to add a new column to this table structure. That is, I'm going to add a column called email ID. So your table is altered. Now you have 5 columns, including the ID, then name, age, course, and email ID. Okay. Now I'm going to set a unique constraint for this newly added email ID column. Okay. For that I am going to use alter table student, then add constraint, constraint. Then I'm going to give a constraint name, that is UK. Then the constraint definition, that is unique, and to which column you are going to set the constraint, that is for email ID. Okay, so let's try to execute this query. Now your table is altered, that is you have successfully set a unique constraint for the email ID column. Now we are going to insert a row into this column. Insert into student fname, comma, age, comma, course, comma, email ID, values, age is 30, then course is bcom, then email ID is okay. We haven't mentioned the type here, that is the string, so you have to put that in semicolon. Now you have inserted a new row. Then I'm going to insert one more row into this table. Uh, so let's change the names. Okay, say bcom, and the email ID is same. So let's try what happens. So this is what we have set using the alter table statement. Duplicate key value violates a unique constraint UK. That is, we tried to insert the record using the same email ID for this email ID column, and that is not possible because we have set a unique constraint for the email ID column. Okay, and this is how you add a constraint to an existing table. If you want to drop that constraint, you can use the syntax alter table name, then drop UK. Let's try that. Alter table student, drop constraint, or constraint name is UK. Now your constraint is dropped. Then let's try to insert this same statement. Insert into student f name, and here the email ID is same as before. Now you have successfully inserted a new row into this table with the same email ID column. Okay, so to view that, you can run a select command, select star from student. So this is a column. You can see the same email ID, and this is possible if you haven't any a unique constraint for this column, and if you have set any constraint, unique constraint for this column, and this is not possible. Okay, and this is how you add constraints to an existing table using the add constraint statement or keyword. And if you want to drop, you can use the drop constraint keyword. Okay, and for dropping, it is convenient to set a constraint name. That is why we have given a constraint name here, and it is easy to drop a constraint using the constraint name. Okay. Sometimes you may need to rename a table. You can use an alter table to rename a table. The syntax is alter table, table name. Then you can use the keyword rename to new table name. Okay. So in this example, our table name is student. I'm going to rename that into student info. Okay. For that, you have to run the statement alter table. Table name is, that is all the table name, that is student. Then rename to the new table name, that is student info. So you have already a table called student info. I'm going to rename that into student info 1. So your table is altered, that is your table name is changed to student info 1. Then let's try to fetch the table data. Select star from student, and this is our old statement, old table name. If you try to execute that, you will get an error, that is there isn't any relation called student. That means there is no table called student in this database. So you have successfully changed that name into student info 1. Then you will get the table data, and this is how you rename a table using alter table statement. Okay, in this video we have discussed a lot of things. Do practice using your PostgreSQL, and thank you for watching.